What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Financial Fitness, brought to you by the Old Fashioned Health Network. Good health inside and out. Guys, we've got a very special episode today, and I think a lot of people can kind of resonate with this one. Should I buy or should I rent? We're all in the process of stage of figuring out what's best for us, especially if we're relocating or if we're getting ready to have a family. We want to see what's the best thing to settle down to, what's the best thing to do, being in the time of period we think we're going to be based in a certain area. I got this talk with two amazing individuals that we're going to go on, and you're going to get to hear from them as well in this interview. In the first one, get to hear from a good friend of mine named Josh Bolden. He's a wind tech in Oklahoma. And he tells you what he values about renting and why he decided to rent. And for a lot of people, I think they'll go along the lines of agreeing with them because of the situation that they may be in. Why don't you take a listen real quick right here and hear what he has to say. All right, man. So you relocated out of Mississippi a few years or recently for this job. Tell me, what are the things when it came to accepting this job, why you chose to rent versus buy?
Well, this job, I was single at the time, and it was just a good way to make money. And the reasons I rent is because I do move around a lot, so it's not really good for me to make an investment in one certain place. So I decided to make an investment in other things, Roth IRAs, or trying to start up a company. So that's where my money is going instead of equity in a home right now that I may or may not can keep up.
Nice. So you really thought long term when it came to it. Instead of settling down and getting invested in something that took a while to make money, you chose to put it into the market and test your chances. Yeah. I like that. What would you say the benefit of it is so far of renting?
Honestly, just the upkeep of any home or anything that you buy, whether it be a vehicle or any type of house. Really, you have to upkeep it, cut the grass. Everything falls apart, so that way the responsibility is not on me, and the stuff I invest in really, kind of take care of itself.
I see.
So it's just a lot smarter to rent rather than to buy right now. Especially since I'm on the road, I can't always be there to take care of it.
Yeah, and that goes a long way too, especially when it plays in a time. Like you said, you're potentially looking to start a business, and with time coming into play, coming back to take care of a house, I could see where that could, cause a few issues. If you would have stayed in Mississippi, would you have bought?
Yeah, no doubt. I definitely bought. That way, I guess I could see some return on investment. That way, I have a home, somewhere to go to, and to me, renting is good when you're on the road. Like I said, there's no responsibility on you, but when you are established in a career, I think it's a lot smarter to buy, just because you're not just throwing money away. I mean, renting is nothing that you own. So once you leave and spend $10,000 that year, you have no return from that $10,000.
Ah, nice. That's true. You did the math. You started calculating early. And then the last question I have for you is, what would you recommend to anyone relocating?
Figure out what's best for you. If you're relocating for a job like I did and you're able to make a ton of money, I would definitely rent. If you relocating for a job, if you're going to stay there, maybe, get in a place that's a little cheaper. That way you could explore the market when the time is right, save your money, and find a place to buy and start getting some equity in that.
Nice. So it basically just came down to personal value, what you felt was going to benefit you in the long run versus short term. Good deal, man.
Yeah. Always put instant gratification because, that only lasts so long.
So true. And you hear that, like you said, instant gratification versus delayed gratification. What do you want out of the aspects? And it sounds like, you're getting the delayed aspect by investing now and taking the opportunity to get in line the things that you want to do to prepare you for your future. I love it.
Yep.
In this next bit, this is my realtor, Sana McKenzie. She's here in the greater Atlanta area, works for Keller Williams. She's a great woman and great overall just agent in general and a good friend because she made this process very easy. One of the things that I will say is continue to keep an open mind in this process because one is going to work for you and one is going to be a position where you need to prepare yourself financially to be in a position. Sana goes over some great tips that puts you in a position to be prepared in getting ready to buy a home. Now, you have to weigh your options, you have to look at your budget, and you have to see what's going to work for you. Take a listen real quick and hear what Sana had to say while we had our conversation of buying a home. So overall, what would you say in the last year has been the biggest, have you sold more homes or have you leased more homes in the last year? And what do you think?
Good question. So the rental market here in Atlanta is huge. It really, really is big. Not only do you have the traditional renter, just looking to rent property, but, the movie industry has been huge here. There's tons of executives that come into town for short-term rentals. We actually have something in Midtown right now where we've got a tenant paying almost $5,000 a month.
Wow.
And she came in from California. Yeah, she's a movie producer. To me, that's ridiculous. I mean, it makes absolutely no sense to rent. It makes so much more sense to buy.
I agree.
Because at the end of the day, as you know, with the rental, the rents will continue to rise, period. So there's no stability there versus if you, buy right to begin with, I would expect that you would get a loan where the rate's fixed and, that way you don't have to really worry about anything fluctuating with the exception of maybe taxes and insurance.
Yes, ma'am. So you hear so much on the news how rates are down when it comes to purchasing a home, but you see a lot of people aren't buying or purchasing homes. Do you think that's because just fear of 2008 and the market crashing again, or the sustainability of people not being in a home very long?
Well, to be honest, so the lifespan of someone being in a home when they buy is about 5 to 7 years, roughly, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I feel like in the back of a lot of people's minds, the people that experienced the downturn in 2007, 2008 will never forget what happened then because it was really, really bad. And there were a lot of people that were upside down on their mortgages and couldn't afford to pay them. So as a result of that, not only did we have foreclosures from the banks, we also had short sale properties and just a lot of what we call distressed properties in the market. Since then, the market, of course, has been increasing steadily every year, and the rates have been increasing. And I can even use myself as an example. There's a property that I bought as a primary residence years ago, and the rate that I got on that was 3.8, I believe.
Yes, ma'am.
And now, that was maybe what? That was 2016, 2015, something like that.
Oh, so you got a really good rate then,
Yeah, I mean, it was excellent. Now rates are in the fives, and rates, fluctuate based off of the person's credit, their income, their assets, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So when you got your stuff in order, then you get the best rate.
Yes,
but the moment you don't, you can better believe you're going to pay more money because you're more of a risk to the bank.
That's true. So the programs, what would you tell people? Like, fortunately for me, I qualified for an amazing program that, of course, anybody would love if their credit score is in that range. Would you encourage people to look for programs if that's something, if buying a house is something that they want to do? Or would you encourage them to rent, accruing any costs, like when you first move in, getting settled, yard work, HOA fees? How would you kind of base that on programs for people to qualify for, and like that down payment assistance and things like that?
So every person is different when it comes to what they qualify for, right? So if you have the opportunity to, obtain some sort of down payment assistance or whatever, by all means, absolutely do it. Now, I will tell you, on the listing side, right, when we're representing or I'm representing a seller, if someone does come along with an offer, if I had to rank them in order, cash is always king.
Yes, ma'am.
Then conventional loans, and then your government loans like your FHA, your VA, and I would also, right underneath that, I probably put the down payment assistance. Because with down payment assistance, sometimes it takes a little bit longer than the seller would want to kind of be in the property to close. And so you'll find a lot of sellers that kind of shy away from working with someone who has down payment assistance, unfortunately. It's a very, very real thing, but it's a very unfortunate thing, right? So,
yes, ma'am.
If you've got the good assets, the good credit, I would say go for conventional if you have to get a loan, because it looks more favorable to whoever the seller is on the other side. Period, point blank. I know it's like real deal, but That's real deal, like what I deal with every day.
Yes, ma'am.
Seriously.
And the conventional, like you said, it just poses a better option because you can save that FHA down the line, possibly. Is that right?
Yeah. So with FHA, right, even though the down payment is a little bit lower in terms of the percentage, because that down payment amount is lower, that means that the bank is financing more.
Mm-hmm.
So that means it's a little bit more of a risk to the bank. And as a result of that, not only are you paying what we call PITI, which stands for principal, interest, taxes, and insurance,
mm-hmm.
you're also going to pay mortgage insurance, which typically will last for the life of the loan. So if you're talking about a property that's $150,000, that mortgage insurance can easily be an additional $150 a month.
Yeah, I got very lucky in mine. I had no mortgage insurance, and I know that would have made my mortgage another $200 had I had mortgage insurance on mine.
Yeah. That's right. And again, with FHA, typically it's for the life of the loan. Some conventional loans have mortgage insurance. However, when the value of the property gets to below 80%, you can either refinance to get the mortgage insurance off, or it may just drop off on its own, depending on who the lender is.
Okay.
So that's why conventional is more of a, at least for me, I would say conventional is the better way to go all day long.
And my last question, I guess it should have been my first question for you. Overall, what would you say people need to be prepared for when they get ready to purchase? Of course, getting approved is the number one thing, but a lot of people don't know the necessary tools or steps to go after that.
Absolutely. So, yes, you definitely have to get your money together, right? Because whoever you're going to be purchasing this home from wants to know how you're going to pay for it. So we always recommend that, you get your pre-approval. And there's two, you have pre-qualification and pre-approval. Pre-approval means that you've submitted all of your documentation to whomever your lender is, your tax returns, your pay stubs, your W-2s, everything. So the only thing that you're kind of missing at that point is the appraisal on the property. I think it is good to read up on some articles just on home buying online. That's the reason why I send out my little newsletters and stuff like that about that.
Yes, ma'am.
Another important thing, make sure you do whatever's necessary to protect your credit and to build your credit up, right?
Yeah.
So when it comes to trade lines, right, a trade line could be a credit card. A trade line could be your student loan. Whatever it is, just make sure you pay it on time, right? Never have any late payments whatsoever. If you have a credit card, right, and say the maximum amount that you're allowed to charge is $1,000,
yes, ma'am,
make sure you keep that balance at 30% or below. So if the maximum amount is $1,000, charge up to $300 roughly and pay it off, or pay it off in installments, so you start to build a good credit profile, because that's what the lenders want to see, period. And if you decide you want to go out and get more credit, whether you want to buy a car, whatever it is, new shoes, whatever, it'll be much easier for you to do because you're handling your credit properly.
Yes,
ma'am. And then the last thing I would say is please save your money.
Yes.
It is not cheap to buy a home.
No,
it's not.
You've
got home inspection, as you know.
Yes, ma'am.
You've got appraisal fee. The appraisal fee is easily anywhere from $450 to $500. You've got your down payment, which depends on the type of loan program that you qualify for. So that can go anywhere from 3% down all the way up to, say, 20 or 25% down. And then outside of your down payment, you also have your share of closing costs.
Yes,
and your closing cost is, of course, the cost to close the loan, period, point blank. So if the seller's not paying for that, then you as the buyer are responsible. So that can add up to thousands of dollars to save your money.
Yes,
very important.
And you touched on a really key piece right there about the credit. You see a lot of people that get so close to their closing date, and they go apply for a credit card, or they go apply for a line of credit to get ready to purchase all these things. What would you say is the smartest thing to do in the due diligence process?
Absolutely. So when you're under contract on a home, never do not apply for any more credit. Do not go and get that Audi that you want. You just don't do it. You wait until you're done, because what happens is when you buy a home, the lender will pull your credit in the beginning of the process. And most times they will pull it again at the very end, and I mean right before closing, 24 hours outside of closing, 48 hours outside of closing, whatever the case may be. So if you've done anything crazy on your credit, then you're screwed. And that actually happened to two clients of mine. One, we were about 48 hours outside of closing. She had a credit card with a maximum limit of like $300. It was a little, gas card.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she charged it all the way to the max, and it dropped her score.
Wow.
To where we had to get another lender involved, right? Start the process all over, get the FHA file transferred over to the new lender, and we got it closed, but that screwed us up. And then with another client, we were 48 hours outside of closing, and he actually lost his job.
Wow.
And didn't say anything.
Wow.
He didn't say a word. And then, of course, they did what they call a VOE, a verification of employment, 48 hours outside of closing, and found out that he didn't have a job. And thank God, with the seller that we were working with, gave him, it was a very short window, about 2 to 3 weeks, to get another job. And he got another job when we closed.
Wow. Wow.
So I say that to say, whatever's for you is for you, period, point blank.
Yes, ma'am.
It really, really is. That home was for him. So very happy for him and very happy for her also.
Yeah, I guess in a process like that, what would be the biggest frustration that you would run into in a situation like that? Just time wasted, or
you're talking about from the client side?
Yes, ma'am. If something like that occurs, like how can people bounce back from a situation like that? But also, how does it affect your relationship with the realtor as well?
Absolutely. So somebody like me, I've been in this so long. It's 15 years for me. So I've seen a lot. And at this point, again, I always tell my clients, we're not buying shoes or groceries. Mm-hmm. We are buying a home.
Yeah.
So we have to be very certain that this is what you want to do. Now, there's no such thing as a perfect home. It doesn't exist, right?
Yes, ma'am.
However, I'm going to get you as close as possible to whatever that looks like for you, whatever perfection is for you, period, point blank.
And our last question of today. I know you said it earlier when I asked, what would you recommend people rent versus buy? What's the breakdown that you would go to if it came down to somebody who had about $10,000 in savings? They want to purchase a home, but they qualify for a home that's, say, $200,000. What all do you think? Do you think it's better for them to keep saving just 6 more months in time, or would you say that they would be good enough to qualify for a house? Or does it just depend?
So let me say this. A friend of mine years ago said, you don't wait to buy real estate. You buy real estate and wait, right?
I like
that.
So
with that said, I always recommend that you buy something. When you
that.
buy something, it's yours. You don't have to answer to anybody unless you purchase in a neighborhood that has an HOA or, it's a condominium complex. But most times it's yours. If you get the right loan program, you want to get a fixed rate so your rate doesn't adjust or move around according to the market.
Yes,
and then not only that, equity will grow in the property. Period.
Yeah.
So you got to do your research ahead of time. And also, I wouldn't say this. I wouldn't say spend every dime that you have on your home, because the reality is things happen and something may break down.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you spent that whole $10,000 on a house, you're stuck. And you don't want that to happen, right?
Yes.
But save as much as you can, right, to where you feel comfortable. If you say, okay, maybe I'll save $15,000 or $20,000. Yes, I can put $10,000 towards the house, and I know that I still have 5 left or 10 left or whatever it is. I think that's a better deal than spending every single penny you have. Don't do that.
Yes, ma'am.
Because you just don't know. Stuff happens. Knock on wood.
Yeah, that's true. It's funny you say that too, because of course when people get ready to close and they get in their home, the importance of the homeowner warranty. I found myself using it the first month, and it was just me being new to the house for some situations, but it really ended up saving me long term because, for me, I had new units in my air conditioner, which is huge. And, I had to call because I just literally didn't know enough about my home at the time. So for me, a homeowner's warranty, $75 just as a standard fee for them to come out and repair or replace anything. I think that's something that is huge for people to understand, like the importance of it. What would you say about that?
I totally agree. And as you know, that's exactly why we like to negotiate that into the contracts for the buyers that we represent, because at the end of the day, you would have spent thousands of dollars
Yeah.
on your down payment and the closing costs and the inspection and the appraisal. And so, you know, you get into your home, and if it's not brand new, and even if it is brand new, stuff breaks down on a brand new home also, period, right?
Yes,
But
ma'am.
if you have this home warranty in place, just like you said, you call the 800 number, you pay the little, you know, fee, $75 fee for somebody to come out, and, you know, they cover it. It's the best thing ever.
I agree.
It really is, because stuff will happen. And like you said, the AC is expensive. And out of all the things that we've been handling with our clients, it's probably the number one issue, because it's just hot.
Yep.
It's hot here in Georgia.
Yes,
And the
ma'am.
AC just break down. The Freon isn't in it, or it's an old unit that needs to be replaced, or the coils are dirty, or whatever it is. So yes, love the home warranties. They're wonderful.
Sana, thank you so much. That was so much information, and it was perfect. Definitely described everything down to a T. Again, I'm talking to the best realtor in Georgia, in my opinion, and I'm very biased about it.
You're so sweet. You know I love you. You already know.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, Sana. You have a good
You're
one.
welcome.
Now, listening to those two, I hope you guys got some great insights, some great information, and some great tips on what to prepare for. Going into renting, do you continue to do so while saving money and putting yourself in a financial fitness project category of saving, managing, and budgeting an expense to futuristically buy a home? Or are you ready now, as Sana mentioned, to buy a home now, build equity, ride up and down with the market, and continue to see what's going to be the best option for you when you get ready to buy? Great. Both of them had great insights, and I have great respect for both of them. Again, guys, take this piece and really listen into it, hone in on it, and work what's going to be great for you. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Old Fashioned Health Network. This is Financial Fitness. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.